Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RollPlay Quarter Swords, episode number 100. We got another 2 hours of this live business to attend to, and you've now just gotten everything you ever wanted, except if you're Ramos, and then you're still turning into dust. So, you have some time. There is some time, at least this night, to relax, right? You may have come to find the embers of Imix, hoping for a great army of flame that would cleanse the land, or magical secrets that would change the course of your destiny. But instead, you find a group of cold and huddled masses, right, hidden away in the caves, living in ruins as the only place that they're safe from the marauders that are pillaging the rest of the court. They're as vulnerable as anybody. What do you do? It's like, it's nighttime, the place is quiet, people are kind of coming and going, but there's a hush about the caverns. Where is everybody? What are you up to?
Where would I have gone?
I don't know. You got everything you wanted, big boy.
I'm just leaving. I'm just out.
You're like, peace, guys. I was just kidding about that whole.
Yeah.
I did what I had to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm curious what Ramos is doing. I think we should probably start there.
Yeah, my impression was that Ramos was just going to, like, hobble into a room and then pass out on the floor.
Yeah, he's definitely, like, in a room by himself, just thinking.
Yeah, well, either before you do that, I have a question for you, or I can interrupt your.
That's fine.
Whatever.
Either is fine.
Okay, cool. Then I will, like, give you some time, whatever, to yourself, and I'll wander over to Ramos's room. And it does have a door, or
yeah, so some of the rooms still have their functioning dwarven, like, mechanical doorways. Others have curtains that are drawn up over a door, like space.
okay.
And I think, like, most of the good shit is already kind of taken, but there's not that many, and there's a lot of room. So the further away from the door, the big front doors you go, then the more room you have. But, like, keep going, and there's monsters and shit. So
Sure. Right.
right. So you can find a room, but it's just like an abandoned, like a storage room or something with no real door.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I forgot the original question was, does the room have a door?
Yeah, I just kind of
I'm like,
peek in.
well, let me paint you a picture of a grand and glorious world. I'm like, fuck, you just want to know. No. The answer is no. There's no door. That's what you want to know? Shut up, Adam.
No, describe the dates.
Okay.
George
Yeah.
R. R. Martin.
Before I tell you if there's a
That's
door,
right, exactly.
surrounding the door, what a door may or may not be.
Let me tell you about the philosophy of doors in this universe. Yeah, cool.
So I kind of just peek into your room after searching for a little bit, and how do I find you?
I'm just, like, staring at the wall, just look defeated.
I kind of walk over to you, and are you sitting down?
Yeah, sitting down.
Okay. If I find a chair or whatever, I sit next to you, and I kind of look in the same direction you're looking. And without actually, like, turning my head to look at you, I just start talking. I have a favor to ask of you.
What's that?
I have a name, and I know you're skilled at finding things. The lieutenant of the incursion is called Grave Dirt, and I'm wondering if that's enough for you to find where she is or get a look at her.
I would have to have seen the person myself. Be within, let's say, 30 so feet.
Ah, Ramos. He was so specific. What a specific guy. Always really great at knowing how far apart any two objects were.
He knew distances by just glancing.
He could count to 6 perfectly, as many times as he wanted. And he could always do 3 things in a 6-second period. Like run 30 feet, but only 30 feet.
Yeah. Up to and including 30 feet. So you need more from that. You couldn't go on a name alone then.
Unfortunately not. There are some magics that one could, but that's beyond me.
So, well, forget that for now. You spoke to Agni, you said?
Indeed.
She gave you no
Wasn't
comfort.
an illusion, wasn't a delusion. It was her. She was here because of him.
After today, I would not ever think to call that an illusion or a lie. She can't help you. Is that what she said?
She doesn't know how. Because I don't think her kind had any involvement in heaven's dealings.
Right. Well, then I think your only recourse is to follow Maharib in his plan to burn heaven to the ground. And in the ashes, maybe we can sift through them and find a replacement for you. And from where I'm standing, and from what I've seen, things can be born anew from the flames. This is the second time in my life that fire has cleansed me. And I'm not akin to denying it again.
Would you keep going on if you didn't know if you would make it out the door to the end of the road? I don't know how much time I have.
Well, my friend, a man with nothing to lose is very dangerous indeed.
There's one hope left, and it's a fool's hope because of where this came from. I show you the ivory key.
I look at it and it's made of ivory, so it's gonna be a little hard for me to look at.
Yeah.
But I look at it immediately and go,
You see this key?
I can smell that key.
And I throw it away. I'm not even going to bother going looking for the door.
Whoa! So he just chucks it. We just hear it like clatter somewhere in the dark.
That's an important key.
What is that?
He was there. Kalimut was there for.
I know. I'm just making sure he knows.
Okay.
A very evil man once bargained with me for this key to get me into heaven.
So what is that? Is that the key to heaven or
Yes.
something?
Apparently it's supposed to be a key to heaven's door somewhere in the...
Oh,
Sure
you weren't
about.
kidding. I was making a joke.
But you see, the foolishness is that I was so desperate to believe in anything to save me that I would believe that some low life would have a key to heaven. I believe that the embers would be able to help me save my soul.
Maybe I would get up and I go over to the key.
Mm-hmm.
And I like lean over a little bit and snatch it up with my trunk
Yeah.
and look at it. Does anything about it like look familiar? Like scrolling tool, like anything like
It's
that?
beautiful. I mean, you wouldn't make a key out of ivory because it would snap off in a lock. Like
And that's exactly like
it's
what
a
I
delicate, yeah, like just a beautiful, delicate like key you might use for like a drawer or.
Right. But that's exactly what I was thinking. Is that maybe snapping it, breaking it will open something. I'm not going to do it yet.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that might be why they make it out of
Well, and-
such a breakable material.
Yeah, and Ramus, like you remember seeing the vision of like your childhood home, right in the Devil's Vault, when the devil showed you like what you desired most, like how to get your soul back. Then it showed you that there's a door to heaven, right? You just need to get there.
It was a vision outside of, like, in the bar before we went into the vault itself, and that there were so many lies in there. So I don't
Right.
know if it was
Yeah.
true.
I mean, you
at
don't
all.
even know if the key is real. Like
Yeah.
Kukrit thought it was, but maybe somebody fleeced him. Yep.
Have you asked Agni about this key?
she appears when she chooses and never brought it up. I don't think she would know anyways. Again, they don't have anything to do with heaven. I would need an angel themselves to bring me my soul. I don't see any other way, or become a god myself. But that isn't going to happen.
Well, my father apparently is alive, and he was not on a quest, but he was very interested in maps and antiquities and artifacts and things of that nature. And he may have heard of a doorway to heaven, a myth of sorts, but
So your dad is like a big esoteric dork and lives in the same temple where Ramos grew up. And like for a bunch of people who are here to like knock over heaven, that seems like fate to me. And now he's alive, you find.
yeah. I should have mailed it to the Marx Brothers. That's exactly the feeling I got.
Right, so either like
no,
he
it's a
goes
fake.
from
You could
he goes
tell.
from being what Christopher Judge or whatever to being Sean Connery from The Last Crusade. Yotazo was the dog's name.
Well, you're a very wise man. If I were to try and gain an audience with my father, how do you think I could do that?
I don't think I could handle another false hope. To get there.
Then I will keep your eyes from it until I have true hope. I just
Fair
want
enough.
you to solve this little problem. I want to talk to him.
Your father.
Yes.
We could do that. There must be a way in. But these people here, they do have magic. We saw them use it and channel it. They can conjure flame. That could give us an edge. But your father's working for them now, right?
Conflicting stories about that. It appeared that he is, but someone else said that he was abducted. So it could be he's being forced, or he's willfully doing it in hopes that one day he might escape. Or he's just evil. That could also be the case. I haven't spoken to the man in 60 years other than in dreams.
Well, I'll follow Maharib. I'll follow you all, and I will use every last bit of the fountain's power I have left to help you. That's all I can do until gone forever. No resurrection, just gone.
Sounds peaceful.
It's true. I don't fear death anymore. I've accepted it. Whatever happens, happens.
I fear that we will need that attitude before the end.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So you guys have this conversation. We kind of fade out on that. Berg, where do you go? You have this whole like weird underground place to like wander around with your thoughts. Do you go to be by yourself? Do you do what the priest said and go find the girl?
I guess he would go wander a little bit by himself and then ask around and try to find where this.
Okay. How much
Person
wandering do you do? Do you wander like away from people, or do you just like walk the halls?
He's not like actively trying to avoid people. He's just like walking around to examine, It's a dwarven structure.
Yeah. So we follow you, and you walk around a little bit, kind of percolating on what what's happened, and you find yourself in a hallway that's partly collapsed on one side, and you've stopped because there's a mural, beautiful stone carved like bas relief, like mural, in this kind of dwarven like hieroglyphic style. It's just like all profile, and you see on it there is a stylized like a goat, a giant goat, like a riding goat. And on its back, there is a dwarf. And the dwarf is wearing like the curved crown of a king, and he's got the big square beard and the crook. And then he's holding in his other hand a chain, and the chain is attached to a group of like 5 like kneeling, like clearly like orcs. And you see this, and like this place and the statue is like old, like hundreds of years old. And yeah, you find yourself like pausing to sort of take it in.
Yeah, as he's staring at the mural and stuff, and his eyes gravitate to the chain, to the orcs, and like in his mind, it's just like flashing back to where when he was in bondage and slavery, and just all the pain and suffering that he saw from families, kids, just everything like that. And normally Berg would like maybe go into a rage and like just smash everything, but his current state now is just he like lets go of the rage and that, and kind of like is satisfied that this is no longer the case for this place. You know what I mean? Like realizing that
that king is dead, and his halls are empty. Yeah,
and now here he stands in their halls.
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's kind of like a satisfying moment for Berg, and also a revelatory moment for him to recognize, like, that everything passes eventually. Like, suffering doesn't always stay. It moves on, and other suffering might come through, but
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a little moment for him.
Yeah, and then he
just cries. No.
And you like walk away.
3 cries.
Yeah,
3
I
cries.
think, I think he like slowly looks at it one more time, shakes his head, and then just walks away.
Right. So you walk a little bit more. You're walking through an area where some people like live, and you can hear 2 like kids, like 2 young girls, and they're like playing a game, and you can hear them like singing and like clapping, and the song, it's like a little like back and forth kind of like nursery rhyme song, and you hear a girl say, you missed part of the song, but you hear the phrase. She says, the gods made souls, and souls make a man. Trust in the fountain, 'cause heaven's got a plan. How many times have you reincarnated? And they like start counting, and then there's laughing and giggling, and then
Don't sing this around Ramos.
and then one of them is like, shh, someone's outside, and then they get really quiet because they hear you like walking, they hear your armor.
Yeah, Berg doesn't like attempt to hide or anything. He just
Yeah.
kind of slowly lumbers around the corners. Like,
Okay. Yeah, so you see two little like girls like standing in the hallway, and they're like standing back, like looking at you like
Berg's like, I don't mean to disturb.
and one of them, the younger one, she's like little. They're both human, like grubby little humanlings, and the girl in the back, she like leans out, and she looks at you, and she's like, "Hey, I know you." And the other girl's like, "Shh, no, not like quiet. You don't know him. Shut up." She's like, "No, I do though. I do." And they're like just kind of like whispering.
Oh yeah.
And she like looks, and she's like, I had a dream about you, but you only had one arm.
Berg looks up and he's like, because first he's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Looks up, he's like, go on.
And she nods. She says, "I had a dream about a one-armed, green-skinned man, just like in the pictures." And she points the way that you came.
What pictures? Where?
She says, out in the hall, the one with the dwarf and the men in chains, with the pointy teeth. The man in my dream looked just like that, just like you, but dressed different. and not so grandpa. And you only had one arm, but now you have two. How'd you get your arm back, mister?
It's a long story.
And she's like, that's okay, I like stories. And the other girl's like, no, shut up, stop talking to the stranger.
So she was pointing like at a picture, like.
Well, she's pointing back the way you came, the
Yeah.
hallway with the slaves, yeah. Like, she's never seen an orc before, probably.
Yeah, I think he's intrigued and just like.
Show me this picture of me.
Yeah, and she's just like, okay. And she just goes exactly back the way you came. And now it's you and her standing in front of the mural of the enslaved orcs. And she says, see? They got teeth like you and pointy ears like you. That's Grandpa. And you don't have any nasty dwarf man telling you what to do. Or do you? Did you lose your dwarf man?
Not anymore, no.
She nods. She's like, I hate it when people tell me what to do. My mom and my dad tell me what to do all the time.
Your mom and your dad are not that.
She's like, yeah, silly, I'm human. That's a dwarf.
This is like a perfect battle of wits. So good.
That is true.
She says, Forge Mother gave me and some of the other kids dreams. Happens sometimes. I seen you in my dreams.
And what happened in this dream?
She shrugs. She's like, I don't know. You did have an arm? It seemed like you're sad about it. And then Forge Mother made you a new arm. Big and strong, made out of metal for punching. I seen it. In my dreams. Only you were more handsome. Less grandpa.
She did do that.
Forge Mother gave you a new arm in my dream and it happened in real life. Is that, she points, is like, it was more metal when I saw it. She like pokes you, like, are you made out of squishy stuff or what?
No. No more metal arm for me.
She's like,
It was cool, though.
when I grow up, I'm going to have 2 metal arms for punching. And she's like, punches you in the leg a couple of times.
Berg like feigns like.
She's like, that didn't hurt.
You got the right spot. Lucky punch.
And she says, we saw you and your friends come inside. The other ones that are weird, the big elephant man and that old guy and the big one with the sword. There was a big noise outside, and then you came inside. Are you going to come and live with us in the caves? We have to live in the caves because the people in the villages are mean to us. Because our god is different than their gods. Because their gods are mean. Not like the Forge Mother. Their gods won't give me metal arms. Punches you some more.
They are mean. Sometimes.
You're going to punch him?
Yeah.
She nods.
I think I might.
It's like, that's good. She approves. She's like, that's a good idea. It's like, okay, cool. Well, it's bedtime. Bye. And she like throws her hands over her and she's like, metal arms, and runs off.
Berg like kind of just laughs to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of contemplates what he like. Kids are dreaming about me.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's not the first time someone has told you that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Mahari, meanwhile, you have some time to yourself. What are you doing with it?
I think I just find the nearest room that's has no one in it, and I just go to sleep.
Yeah. You're just like, well, all in a day's work.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that he hasn't had, like a directive or anything, so he has peace of mind for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just like, I'm going to sleep, because I haven't slept what feels like in forever. So.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's cool with you, Ramos, I'll take the key.
It's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have maybe a real key, maybe a fake key.
We'll see.
For heaven. Yeah, we'll see.
And I find Mahari's room, and I don't disturb you. I just kind of peek in to see which room you're in, and I either grab a chair or just grab a seat on the floor by the door, and just like doze there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'll add it to your I'll add it to your character sheet for you because your thing.
Yeah,
died.
my thing went dead.
Your
'cause
shit died. Okay.
My shit died.
All right.
Is there a plug-in? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So ivory key maybe to heaven.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So everybody sleeps. You
Great.
rest.
Fantastic.
And in the morning, you awaken, and I mean nothing's changed. You're still in a cave. There's still a bunch of grubby, fire worshipping nobodies hanging out with you.
Yeah. I think I wake up and just walk outside my door, and like the second I walk out, I see Yota's.
I'm already up.
Oh, you're already up.
You're
Stan?
just like,
I'm standing like I nodded off for a little bit, and then I realized like I woke up and I realized it was getting towards dawn, so I like brushed myself off and then just stood there.
Okay. Yeah, I'd see him. Good morning. Have you been waiting long?
Oh, I'm not waiting.
Oh, okay. Have you seen Ramos or Berg?
I know where Ramos's room is, if you want to know, but Berg I have not seen.
How is he doing, all things considered?
Ramos?
Yes.
Have you ever seen someone stand at the edge of a cliff and you see the thought wash over them that all they would have to do is jump and it would be over?
I understand what you're saying.
Yes, that's Ramos at this moment. And we could, I don't like to say it, but we could use that. Because he has nothing keeping him going. He feels like he has exhausted all of his possibilities.
look at fucking Wormtusk over
And
here.
I have a possibility. It's a short hope. No, I'm not. I'm coming around to the good stuff. It's a short hope, and he was not the chances of it actually being actually working, or to put it lightly, not good. But and I pull out the ivory key with my trunk, and I pull it out. This, don't laugh, was given to Ramos and was told that this is the key to heaven. All we need to do is find the door. And I put it back.
Mm-hmm.
And my father, if anyone knows about this in this area, would be him.
I see. I guess that's part of the next test then. But I worry if Ramos even wants to live, that is, if he's just given up hope. You've lived as long as he has in the way that he has. It's like you said, you'd stand at the edge of a cliff. What's stopping him from jumping?
I say, if you're going to leave the world, leave an impression.
He's definitely left one on countless people, I'm sure.
I've heard a few stories, and when he's in his cups.
Yeah. Let's go find Berg. I'm curious about this Agni revelation that happened yesterday, this gemstone. Did you know of this?
Not the entire story, no.
I knew nothing of it. I'm interested to hear of it.
I will see if I can roust Ramos. And I will meet you by the entrance of the cave.
Fair enough.
Cave.
See you then.
Fortress. Dwarven thing. Whatever it is.
Right.
This magnificent thing.
Yes. I think
It's
we
crappy
just
shithole.
Yeah.
go different ways side
Crappy,
by side.
magnificent shithole.
Yep.
Now. So I'm going to find Berg. He's going to
Okay.
check
All
on
right.
Ramos.
So let's follow Mahari. So where does Mahari find Berg?
You find Berg asleep underneath the old drawing in the stone.
The carving of
The carving in the
of
stone.
dwarf. Yeah.
But the carving is now drawn over. Berg found a piece of charcoal and just X'd out of like the scene and then redrew very crappily like some orcs that are there, like just living, and there's dwarves on the other side that are also just living, and there's a river running between them, and there's like a sun right above both of them.
So good.
Okay. Are you asleep when I find you? Like just kind of passed out against the edge? All right. I think I stumble upon you. Berg. Good morning. Here's
What?
I like throw some food towards him. It's morning. Did you sleep well against? Did you draw that?
No.
Berg clearly knows. He like, yeah. Like, who do you think drew that? He says, like, it just grabs another bite.
This gem you decided to give to the priest yesterday. How did you stumble upon that?
Well, I didn't stumble upon it. Agni gave it to me. To me and Ramos.
Was there a deal made, or was that just on good faith? Because if so, that was a bad idea.
She helped us escape a horrible, almost certain death. And in return, we would help free one of her kin.
Have you talked to Agni recently? Ramos said that she appeared before him yesterday.
No, she doesn't talk to me.
Is that from lack of trying, or?
I've tried, but I don't do the whole.
That's true, he doesn't. He does a different thing. That's not the skill that he has.
I burned my hand once. Trying.
That's fucking perfect.
Plunged it into the fire and tried to think really hard about talking to it. It didn't work.
Yeah, it's not how that goes usually. Perhaps it put you in better graces with the gods of fire, but I thought that the debt was owed to you, not settled between the two of you. I was hoping that there was perhaps a way to contact them and inquire about the soul. It seems like it's lost.
Can't remember. Was his soul gone in Utrix's?
Yeah. Pretty much everything.
Was that
after
a part
the
of
gnome,
the-
Pretty much everything after the Gnome King, because that's when he came back to life, right?
Was that a part of the deal? I can't remember. It was mainly like, hey, we gotta get the hell out of here.
She told you to do it as payment for your arm.
That's what it was.
Right. She made you
Yeah.
whole again.
Yeah. So you see him thinking like, because it did happen a while ago. He's like,
Right. I forget now. Because I have a real arm. Wasn't always that way.
Somewhere far off in the background, you just hear like, metal arms!
I had a stone arm. Horrible curse turned it lame and stiff to stone. She helped with that too. Gave me a new one.
This brother, I believe, is what was said of Agni. It's the one that was freed.
He is not free. Well, maybe now, I don't know.
Smash cut to like charred bodies. Just fucking gnomes laying all over the place. Burns. Fucking gnomish Pompeii. Frozen and dead.
A message was meant to be delivered to.
I see. Well, I don't think that helps us. I don't think that someone like that can deliver a soul. It takes a higher power.
I think you're right. And I worry for Ramos. I can feel him losing any hope there was.
Yota said he was on death's door last night. I'm not sure what to do, Berg. I don't know how to help him. He gave Yotazo a key to heaven. I laughed, but apparently it's the real deal.
Could be.
God, wouldn't that be the best fuck you if you guys spent all this time and energy like getting into the thing and like finding the door to heaven and I'm like, haha, the key's fake.
Yeah,
Lol.
Ah, man, that sounds like something I would do, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah, it really
It sounds
does.
absolutely like something you do. It sounds like something I would take to someone. They'd be like, "This is made out of toothpaste, bro."
It looks pretty, but look, see, look at this.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like a prisoner made this out of soap. Actually,
Right, yeah, that's not ivory, that's soap.
Yeah, just candy cane. You were with Ramos when he was given this key. Where did this come from?
Yeah, I was there.
Did you get it from someone particular? Do you trust this person?
No, I don't.
I see.
He's dead now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be.
Yeah, that guy was a monster.
Fair enough. Yota and Ramos were going to meet us downstairs, but I had hoped to bring good news. Instead, we have nothing.
Well, then it's another day.
Berg gets up.
Yeah, right. Just another day. All right. So, meanwhilest, our albino elephant friend.
I head to Ramos's room. Since there's not a real door there, I kind of just walk in. Are you there?
I just finished casting a spell, commune,
Okay.
and now I get to ask Heaven 3 questions, and Heaven has to answer truthfully. I'm like,
So the question about commune, and again dealing with Ramos as
shit.
having like a bunch of different deities. Who are you, what are you like praying to?
the tower.
Okay.
Oh God.
So the
Going
tower,
back.
which is, as we remind, the tower is a power of letting go, right? The tower's whole jam is to help you escape the devil and move on to the star, and it does so by proving to you that everything is temporary, that nothing really matters, and that you should just say goodbye to the things that you think that you need, because all you really need is enlightenment, right? Nirvana is all that matters. That's the tower's shtick. So just keep in mind that's the filter that we'll be using. So
Okay.
you can ask 3 yes or no questions.
Were you aware of what Hassan was planning with my soul?
Yes.
Will you help me fix the damage he did?
No.
Do you care if I bug you every day that I exist on this planet until you restore my soul?
No.
Fine. I would like to use my divine intervention
Okay.
to ask the tower to restore my soul.
Okay. All right. So there's an 11% chance that it just does it.
Whoa. Just do this every day.
1-1.
He gets one chance
You
every
get
day.
the one every day.
Nope.
Nope.
58.
Okay.
Okay.
Every day. Every day.
I
Every
will
day.
talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same
That-
time tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You just punch out. You're like, I'll see you later, asshole.
How crazy would that be? He just comes out of his room. Hi, guys.
Yeah. I feel much better today. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I mean, morrow. God damn it. Talk to you tomorrow. All right. So, so he's just finished communing. You can see he has his ritual, like, divining objects. And then, and he comes in.
And as I come in, you see me like stop at the doorway. May I come in?
Oh, you're more than welcome. It's a cave.
And I'm making kind of a show of this, but I get down on my hands and knees, and I make my way to you. Great. Mighty Ramos.
Get off the floor.
We need your powerful powers to help us. Please.
Don't take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks.
Dude, I fucking love cheap tricks.
Yeah. They're
Somebody
great.
could conjure me
I
some
want you
cheap
to
trick.
want me.
That'd be, yeah, that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. No, and I mean, this is not like sarcastic. This is playful. I'm trying to appeal to your, because I saw you do it to him like twice. Like, oh, you need my mighty magic? Like, oh, mighty Ramos, please, may we have use of your magic?
Well, and clearly from the commune, like, that's still, Ramos is still Ramos, right? Like,
And that's why I thought I could risk it, because it seemed like he was being snide and not hopeless.
yeah.
So I get up. Ramos, Bergen, and Mahari are waiting for us down by the entrance.
It just bugs me. I want to help it do what it wants it to do most, and it sits there and ignores me.
The will of the gods is confusing at best.
I think we've got so much wrong about heaven and the gods.
Really?
I'm going to have to ask Berg questions about what he's seen.
Yes, that is actually something I wish to discuss with you.
Isn't that a
And I
kick in
take
the
a
ass?
big old pull of my jug, and it's filled with wine once again. And you see it like kind of like stain my skin around the lips, because it's all white now, and so that's like it's just starting new stains.
Baby, it's all right. Just go ahead.
It's all right. But something I wanted to ask you about that. It seems Berg has some sort of association with heaven, and we're trying to do something against what gives him his power. How do we, will he keep following us, or?
It's up to Berg. I trust Berg, but I don't recognize the body he's in now. It's all I recognize is the mind, not whatever he is now. That's not the Berg I knew.
What was the Berg you knew?
Oh, he was a sight to behold. So much scar and torture and misery. An arm made of stone, because he lost that too.
He looked like he was born yesterday. I mean, there's nothing on him.
What a fucked up thing to say. Like, I liked him better when he was all miserable and broken. Like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Misery loves company.
He's so beautiful and perfect now, and I'm
Yeah.
just fucking falling apart.
Yeah.
Damn, Ramos.
I got the old man here.
Yeah.
I looked at his hand, and the wrinkles on his hand where you close it seem like they belong to a child. They haven't. It seems like his skin is not old, but his eyes tell a different story. It's very strange.
All I know is I saw him die in front of me. He was dead. There was no coming back. And then one day, a person who I know it's Berg, but it's not Berg. The Berg is inside something else. I don't know whose body that is, but it's not Berg's.
Oh, that's such a good parallel, because it's like you are not you stuck in your own body, and you recognize like the essence of Berg, but are alienated from him because he's not the person that you remember. Yeah, that's so good.
You said yesterday, I kind of left it at that, but you might have a way to get to my father.
Do you have anything of his?
Well, that's a good question. Do you carry anything of your dad's like around with you?
Let me check my character sheet. Let's see. I do. And I forget that it's there, but
Do you
I
remember?
look
Do you
at
remember
my
the spell that I cast to look into the court? it can be used on a person.
All right.
Chance it will fail,
All right.
but we could see where he is and what he's up to.
This. It's a symbol of our house. It's passed from father to son. This was his father's and his father's before his and so on. And now it's mine. This is his. It belonged to many others, though. Will that matter?
As long as it was his,
Yeah.
and he came in contact with it.
Will it be destroyed in the process?
No. It's just a homing beacon.
Then yes, I do.
I could show you now.
Oh, well then. How long will it take? I don't want them to be waiting.
About 10 plus 1 minutes.
God, good old, exactly succinct Ramus.
Well-
He always knows exactly how long these things
Yes.
are going to take.
Well, I will let you begin the ritual, and I will tell our companions that what is occurring.
I'll
and I will
prepare,
return.
but you may not like what you see on the other end.
I haven't liked
Can
much
you
of
live-
what I've seen in the past.
Could you live
several
with
days.
knowing he's not who you remember?
Oh, yes. But I must know.
Then we shall do it.
Mm.
I'll prepare it. Leave the ring here.
I drop it into your hand.
Okay.
I will return very soon. And I kind of start jogging towards them because I want to get back here as fast as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so we can cross to everybody together wherever Ramus is casting the spell.
Yeah.
You've just finished the ritual. Let's see if it works. So what's the saving throw?
It will be DC 18, and he gets a -4 on his roll because I have something of his.
Correct. Okay, and it's wisdom.
Wisdom.
All right. I'm getting normally +4, so it's just a flat roll. So chances are pretty good you're going to get this. So I need an 18, 19, or 20 to do this successfully. No. Fuck no. All right. So you were scrying on what's your do your father have a name? I've been referring to him in my notes as Papa Kale, but
Oh,
do you have a first name or like
I don't have one yet.
Yeah, okay, but he doesn't.
I'll
Okay.
I'll get one soon.
right.
Yeah.
Dumbo, Stampy?
Stampy.
Listen, some people are just assholes. All right.
His name is,
Could be Mota.
what is it, Peanut? No.
Yeah, right.
Motazo. He
His
smoked
name
a lot
is
of weed.
Chuckles.
Chuckles, that's what it was. That's the one I was trying to think of. Chuckles.
Yeah, Yota's real name is actually Yota Chuckleson. All right, so you do this in the same way, right? You have the bowl, and you do like put the ring in the bowl to scry, or
It's actually the mirror that I saw, that big ass mirror that's on my
okay.
back. So you touch it to the mirror, say the name, have Kalamat put his hand on mine, and then
Yota.
the
Yota. Right.
sorry, and then the ripples come out, and it slowly starts fading into an image of him wherever he is.
okay, yeah. So we see an elderly Gaja, ancient really, and we recognize the room that he's in because we saw it aflame in Yotazo's dream. So he's in this study, and there are maps and cartography and what have you on the walls, books and scrolls, and he's sitting at a desk, and he seems to be, he's got a ledger in front of him, and he's just like writing in it with a brush. So he's like marking, and he's like, he looks a lot like Yota did, like he's gray and all these big floppy ears, long curled tusks, but a lot more like wrinkled and like dry looking than Yota. Like he's a Gaja at the end of his life. And he's hunched over and he's just writing like figures in this book.
Okay, his name is Tonkin, and it's TANKEN dash KA
Yeah.
space NO space ZO.
Okay.
Tonkin Ka Nozo Kel.
Okay. So we see Tankin Ka, and he's at his desk, and he's just like seems to be like engrossed in whatever he's writing.
And we can hear too. Do we hear anything in the room?
I think he's just like humming to himself. and he looks like fine. Like he's not like dripping with the necromantic energy. He's not like he's just like he's got his sleeve like held up and he's like drawing, making notes in this ledger, and he moves with like just the same like fluid grace that you remember you looked up to as a child. Even in old age, he moves like a willow in a gentle breeze. And he seems like content and like fine.
What's in the ledger?
He seems to be marking like expenditures. It's like he's like doing someone's books essentially, like budgeting for someone.
Duncan Ka, evil accountant.
Yeah, right. Like, and he's just like like humming to himself and like making.
Are you
making
trying
his
to run a
notes.
villainous empire?
Yeah.
Getting bogged down in accounting paperwork?
Do you recognize the room he's in? Just his surroundings.
Yeah, it's his study in the Monastery of the Sun. It's his quarters. There was a little villa set aside for you and your family called the Benefactor's Quarters, where like you would stay and then it would be empty the rest of the year. But when you and your family came to visit, that's where you lived. It was like your home within. So he's definitely in the monastery, and he seems to be doing fine. Like everything's great.
I know that place very well. I was caught in there and I spilled ink on the floor, and I was severely punished because I was not allowed to touch Father's things. So yes, I know that place very well.
Well, we know where he is. And he doesn't look like he's in any captivity at all.
Somehow, I wish I was surprised, but I am not. He was never a pious man, always deep in books and cared more about antiquity and anything else. And only reason I ever found that he would give money to charities or orphanages was to gain notoriety and further his own ends. So he only obeys a couple of gods, and I don't think either side matters to him.
Sounds like a true man of wealth.
Now you know why I left in the first place. I did not want to become like him. Very rebellious little elephant I was.
Well, now we know where to go.
Do I know anything about the monastery as far as ingress, like that kind of stuff, like places that might not have been made clear to the people that are occupying it? Maybe I would know, like, I don't want to say secret passage, but secret passage in.
Yeah, make a history check.
Okay. 14 plus my history, which I believe is 3. So 17-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, they're like it's not meant to be. There's no skullduggery, right? It's not like a Temple of the Moon where they're like secret passages and revolving doors and like we love that horse shit. It's meant to be upfront and ostentatious and beautiful.
Right.
So there's a stone wall. There's the pools around the outside. Then there's a stone wall. And then within that wall only has one entrance, right? It's an archway that is meant to channel the if you approach it at noon or whatever during the high day of summer, the sun goes right down the path and like head straight. So you can walk this line and see as far as you can see, right? There's like farms and stuff on either side and whatever. So there's this beautiful archway. Beyond the arch, there is a garden of like statues, and then the main hall, big hall of worship. Behind that, a plaza, and everything else is connected to that plaza. So, like, the kitchens, the like, monk stuff. Because normally, if you were a visitor, you'd come here, you'd go to the Hall of Worship, and you'd leave, right? All the flashy stuff is at the beginning. But then if you pass through that hall, through the back, then you can go out to the Benefactor's Manor, and out to the inner, like, there's another priest sanctum where the high priest lived, and the Hall of Mirrors with the sun tower, and then the school and the orphanage and all that stuff near the back. And it's all surrounded by a tall wall. And that is the Monastery of the Sun.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ramus, you know all that too, obviously, because you live there. But you were never allowed anywhere near, like, the Benefactor's Manor. That was, like, the nice house on the other side of the plaza. No one was allowed anywhere near.
Well, there was definitely segregation inside of the sun.
Yeah.
People that were more blessed than others.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is there a way that I can communicate with him?
It's a one-way window.
Yeah, and you see him, he finishes whatever he's writing, and he puts some sand on it and blows the sand off. And he gets up and he turns to another book, and he stops. And he looks down at the floor. And you can see that he's looking at, there's a dark stain on the wood on the floor, and he looks at it, and he just reaches up and like rubs his chin, shakes his head, and steps over it and walks over to his scrolls and like, pulls some out. And he's like looking at them. And
Well, and they all see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've seen. He doesn't look like he's a captivity. He doesn't look like he's there against his will. He seems content. So, I'm not sure how to get to him. But I could go, I'd rather not leave your sides. But any suggestions would be...
May seem like an odd question, but is he going to recognize you?
Maybe not with his eyes, but he'll smell me.
I understand. It would be a couple days, perhaps weeks' journey to go by yourself. I do not believe that would be wise.
I mean, to the actual monastery. I would more than welcome the company to the place, but approaching it, I'm not sure. We can discuss that along the way, but if you are willing to join me, I think that is our best hope of possibly helping you or gaining access to heaven itself. The idea still, it makes me want to drink more. And so I will, and I drink take a big jug.
What happens if we enter heaven? Not to us, but what's the plan then? Do we
Many
just
a
go
day
around
as a
asking?
monk, I sat
I
thinking
kn-
that very question.
I know the exact place to go. I've
No.
seen it.
Operation Soul Heist.
They will
Well,
have-
so here's the thing about heaven, right? Heaven in this world is not like the place where all the good boys and girls go when they die tragically in a car accident. This is where it's the kingdom of the gods, and only the gods can live there, and the gods made it for themselves to administer the fates of humanity, right? Of mortals. So
Yeah.
it is their realm. Berg could only go there as a luminous soul in a god-crafted body form, right? Like that was made to protect his soul from being like pulled apart by the ambient energy of the fountain. The gods love it; they can fucking bask in that shit. But you would have to find a way to get yourself in there that would not have you just like obliterated by the holy light of the fountain, unless that's all bullshit. But Berg knows like they made you this new body ostensibly for a reason. So
So Berg would probably be the one to tell us that then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You share it with us?
Yeah.
And if you go in as you are now, supposedly your soul gets pulled apart. Might be true, might not. I don't know.
Ramus, I don't know if you know the answer to this or have thought about it, but how long do you think you have left?
putting it right out in the open like that.
I have no idea. Could be days, years, minutes. I don't know if this has ever been timed before.
I don't know if going to heaven will solve anything. It's not like we can enter in, run amok, find a soul, and leave.
Well,
Let's
I
take
could.
things one... What?
What did you say?
I feel like I could. I came from there with this body.
You have walked in heaven.
Yes.
My friend, there is so much more to you.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it then. I mean,
Do you know this place he speaks about? Would you know how to get there the right person to ask, the right places to look.
I mean, he should be able to, right? Like, he knows. He was there for quite a while. Like,
Yeah,
'cause we
you know, I
kinda
mean,
did
you
some
never
time skip,
visited.
but
You
I
never
never
visited
went
the like
there.
halls of reincarnation.
I never
or
went there,
whatever,
but I'm sure I've seen and talked to, I mean, there was a long while where Berg was there. We
Just
did-
name drop at the door like it's a club. Like, hey, I know the god of fate or the
Yeah,
god
right.
of bad things.
yeah.
I fought,
yeah,
I
like
fought the god of good luck.
you
I
kind
fought
of
him.
yeah. You kind of have like an idea of maybe. You know, you would like at least wouldn't be totally like foreign territory. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
probably.
as I was saying, I think it would just be best to take it one thing at a time.
Yeah.
We'll find the door first, if it actually exists, if this key isn't a fabrication. And then we'll take it from there, but one thing at a time.
So what is the idea then that you like? There is let's backtrack it. So Ramos' soul is in heaven. The door to heaven is in the monastery. The door needs the key, which is in your possession. But how are you going to get into the monastery?
Through his dad, hopefully.
So you're
We'd
just going to
send
show
him
up and be
in.
like, Papa,
Yeah.
Daddy, let me in.
There's some sense, sort of subtle, yeah. He's not just gonna, I'm here, Pops, what's up?
What
I
up,
need
Dad?
some help.
It's me. It's your boy.
But yeah, basically we'd go there, send him in.
Well, they didn't kill him right away. So I don't see why they would kill me right
They
away.
didn't kill the sorceress or the wizard earlier because she wasn't against them.
They didn't find her though, did they?
No, she's been like asking for an appointment.
she's like,
Oh, that's
she's
right. That's right. That's right.
I want to
She's-
see Gravedirt.
Okay.
I need to ask her some questions. I'm
Gotcha,
curious
yeah.
about what you guys are doing in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
So I think that's the plan.
They're sociable.
We go to the
Yeah.
the temple.
Do we all go together?
I see no reason to split us up.
Very well.
Maybe I don't walk up. I don't think they would.
Oh, you mean to speak to his father?
Me? No, I don't.
No, I mean to have the conversation. We do not go. He'll go by himself. We just are nearby. If he doesn't
Yes.
return in a day, we storm the castle, so to speak.
I don't think they would. If they saw and figured out where
No.
I'm,
Yes,
wouldn't go well
it would not.
for them.
That's what I mean too.
Ramus.
He winks.
Do you have any sort of way to sneak me in or sneak my father out?
Nope,
Nothing. All
not
right.
that kind of magic.
Okay.
You know who does have that type of magic? The woman we met last week.
We could always go back and I owe her a few days with my jug anyway. Do you think she would do us another favor once she has my item, my jug here? We are even.
It's worth a try. It's the best lead we have.
But that means going directly out of our way, getting there, and that's another week's worth of time. Or maybe not a week, since we wandered.
Yeah, you should be able to find your way back without any trouble.
Okay.
It'll be much quicker.
Right, but it's not like we teleport. We have to like spend days getting there.
Yes.
Days
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
over there. Yeah. Okay. Like so, if just ballpark from here back to her camp, and then from her camp back to the monastery. Like, do we have any idea how many days that would be?
You can make a survival check if you want to try to guess how long it would take to get from one place to another.
Okay.
Ramos can make it.
Yeah, Rams do it.
I'll do it with guidance.
That's
10.
Okay, yeah. If you had to guess, you'd figure probably 3 days. Now that you know the way, 3 days down, and then another maybe 2 days to the monastery
Okay.
from where you were waylaid.
That's
Wait,
5 tries at the
At-
god.
At least a
the
couple.
god call.
That's
At
true.
least a couple times, couple days shorter since we can go straight this time.
Well, the clock is ticking.
You should ask if he can spare some fighters if we need them. Spellcasters, a couple fireballs would be very helpful if we have to fight. Guerrilla style, just get in, hit, get out.
It's not the worst idea. I'll go and speak with him. Give me a moment, and I just leave to go find the priest, the high priest.
Okay.
Te-
Right.
Tell him you'll light a great flame at the top of the Tower of the Sun as a symbol to all the other sects.
We will light a great flame at
Great
the Tower
flame.
of the Sun.
We'll replace the sun with flame.
Well, now it's complicated. We'll replace the flame with the sun.
It's a beacon,
A
like
beacon.
the end of a torch.
Okay.
Every
The tower will become a torch
you
that
can
will light
see it
them,
from
yes.
most places around here. Would be
People will know that Embers of Emix have done this. That's the goal.
that they have freed the temple back.
All right. And then, yeah, I leave.
Okay. All right. So you find the leader of this cell of the Embers
Yeah.
in his room, and he's having tea. He's drinking tea out of a wooden cup,
Yeah.
and he's like just reading a book.
Yeah, I knock on the cave.
Yeah. So he just gestures for you to come in. You walk in.
We're going to be leaving on a mission. We have an idea on how to acquire soul. I won't bother you with the intricacies of it, but we're hopeful.
And he raises an eyebrow like, so you arrived last night, made all that mess, and now you're leaving.
Unfortunately, yes.
And he struggles. He shrugs and he laughs and he says, very well, if you must.
We don't have much time. I'm sure you've seen Ramos understand where he's at.
You have to help your friend. I understand.
Yes. Can't believe I'm asking favors on the first day of our peace treaty, but I have a favor to ask. But it does benefit both of us.
Is that so? What can I do for you?
The part of the plan that does concern you is that we wish to have a conversation with Yota's father, the one you spoke
Yes.
of the other day. We
The
believe,
rich Gaja that lives in the monastery.
yes, if we could perhaps turn him to our side, we'll benefit from the money, but also the information that he potentially holds.
I think that you'll find that's a very difficult task.
Well,
The Mara have a tendency to inspire a sort of loyalty in their followers. If this Gaja's soul has turned black, there will be no coming back from that place.
that is true, but we must do something. We're not going to sit here and let our friend wither away.
If you have the opportunity to speak either with this Gaja or with their lieutenant, the woman they call Grave Dirt, see if they would be amenable to an alliance. We have a common enemy. Perhaps diplomacy can see us out where violence would not.
I will consider it. That is quite the ask, though.
A fool turns away a sword given freely. If they are willing to be our allies, perhaps there is some merit in fire and darkness. We will have to make hard choices if we're going to survive.
That is true. You won't like this favor, then.
Good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
He raises an eyebrow.
Nice opener.
We were wondering if we could have a few embers. Personnel. Wizards, perhaps, causing a distraction for us to enter and speak with the father.
You misunderstand us again, Mahari.
It is good to start understanding, then. What do you mean?
Even were I able to give you such things, if I could say no, I refuse, but instead I have only no, I have none. There are so few of us, fewer still fighters, and none with any skill of magic. I am the only one blessed with any kind of miracle, and I must use that to protect my family. These people. I fear you've come a long way only to be disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. We will grow. Requests like these will be made every day, till they are possible, and then we will grow even more.
A fire needs fuel to burn. money, people, belief. You cannot build that while you struggle to survive.
I think I reach into my bag and scoop out 300 gold.
Can't you just take out a pouch of gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it goes. I put it on the table and start lighting the fires. We'll be back with more.
He smiles and he nods. And maybe for the first time you see a look in his face okay, maybe this guy isn't just full of shit. Maybe we could make a change now. Okay, yeah. So he's got now a very busy day ahead of him of spending all this gold. And you head out.
Yeah, I go back to the party and I have some bad news and a worse possibility. We won't be getting the embers. He wants to ally with them.
He wants to ally with them for what reason?
Desperate.
At the core of it, it's desperation. It's not the worst idea. It means working with the enemy. But it is an idea.
Wants to ally with them against the Court of Swords.
The first strike against heaven, potentially.
We know that this army, this nameless army with a nameless leader and a lieutenant that goes by Gravedirt. We know of what they have done. The poison clouds, the bodies left in the wake, the overtaking of the temple or the monastery of the sun.
Keep in mind that the place you're in now had a big cage full of burned up corpses in front of it.
Yeah.
They're not the nicest people.
Well, and I'm taking this is the thing I'm trying to this is what I'm putting into my role playing is that this world, these things, death and all that shit is a part of the circle, it's part of the wheel. So there's not I can't have as much reverence as I normally would, as Zeke would.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. So,
well, all I want to do is take the Court of Swords down to its base and build from there, because it is a corruption, it is an infection, and it needs to be torn up by the root. And if that means that we temporarily side with one or the other, it doesn't make much difference to me. I preferred to side with the court because the court already has a hierarchy in place. However, if this group seems to have organizations, some sort of order to their madness or whatever, I'm fully willing to do that if it means the end of the court for now. And also, it make us one step closer to the doorway to heaven if we don't fight them.
There are no tales of deals with the Mara ever going in the person's favor.
Wait, the
Ever.
Mara. Do they serve the Maras? That we've learned that?
Yes.
They're using powers that the Mara are known to employ.
This is who we wish to ally with, is the forces of Mara.
How are the Primordials' relationship with the Mara?
It was after their time.
Damara didn't exist when the Primordials were around.
Do we have any idea how they plan to deal with them? Because they're going to need to be dealt with.
I do not know if those conversations have ever taken place among mortals.
I feel like a sparrow contemplating the constellations.
Yeah. We all do sometimes. There are giants that exist. We could seek one out, but that's much further along in this plan. We need a soul. I think that's where we begin.
That would be nice.
I could use one of those.
Yeah.
Let's start this journey. Yeah.
Back to Zaid or Zaida.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Very well.
You want to head back to her?
Yep.
Okay.
Every time you say Zaid, I just think of, Mass Effect, the Zaid Masani.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guessed, like almost a week passes. I guess like half a week passes to get you back to her camp. You use your magic, and it drives you like right back to her. Did you want to keep praying? Do you want to do your daily prayer?
Yes, my daily.
Okay.
Let's just have these.
I thought you said it was 3 days there, 2 days.
It's 3 days there. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So half a week.
Okay.
Rounded.
Gotcha.
Down. I mean, the weeks in this are different lengths, but. Okay. No, 53.
We could ask them questions.
No, this is the.
That's
I did it.
4.
I rolled it.
All right.
4.
Okay.
That's 4% right there.
So
on the night of the second day.
Yeah. So the night, like, when do you pray? Let's talk about this.
As soon as the sun comes up each
But
day.
did he get it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he got
He got a
4%. 0.4.
That's like a 1 in 10 chance.
For his soul?
So you're praying. So what do you ask for? What is the exact prayer for intervention?
Restore my missing soul.
Okay. All right. And let me read the spell here. So
Well, then problem solved, boys. Let's go do some shit.
So that was a champagne jam?
It's up to DM interpretation. So
Yeah.
you could go anyway.
It's like a wish.
Hey, Ramus,
Yeah.
turn that frown upside down.
I'm here to
Maybe,
give you your
I don't
soul
know.
back.
That seems too easy. I have no
Fucking
idea.
Mickey Mouse shows up. He's like, here you go.
Somebody want
a soul?
Jump on the Hydra's back.
all right. So beginning at 10th level, you can call on your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action to describe the assistance you seek and roll percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or cleric domain spell would be appropriate. If your deity intervenes, you cannot use this feature for 7 days. Otherwise, you can use it again after you finish a long rest. At 20th level, your call for intervention succeeds automatically with no roll required. So, you pray for your soul to be restored. And there's something about this morning that feels like different. That you pray to the tower, like, give me what I need, like, give me my soul. And we fade to, and we've seen these scenes before, we fade to a scene of heaven, the alien grandeur of heaven, the strange roads of gold and the alien gods moving about.
Bureaucracy.
And we see, the heavenly bureaucracy. And so we see a clerk. He's basically human-shaped, except that he has like a centipede body from the waist down, and he seems to be made mostly of sapphire. But he has a robe on, and he's like adjusting his robes and stuff, and he seems like nervous, and he keeps looking up at the light of the fountain, and he's like, I'm late, kind of my first day, and he's like so frustrated, and he skitters up to a great hall. And as we pan up, we see him slip inside the doors, and we pan up, we see over the door, in celestial characters, we get a subtitle. It says Hall of Reincarnation. And he comes in, and we see him he's got a stamp, and he stamps essentially like a time card. He stamps a scroll, and like he nods to the clerk at the front desk, who is like, I don't know, like a magical duck or something. And he skitters past.
Really mailed in that one, Adam.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Listen, I can't describe every single alien god in heaven.
I know.
He's a magic duck. So this clerk finally he gets in, and he scatters down, and he comes down, and we see the massive, never-ending hall of souls, and the jars being like moved around. I remember he said there were like spiders that were like moving them, and he has on his side he has like a pouch, and he like rubs his hands together, and he's like, all right, time to get to work. And we see him skitter off into the hall, and we see he comes around a corner, and there is one of these spiders lying on its back in a like a hallway, and its legs are twitching. And he shakes his head. He's like, oh, poor thing. He skitters over to it, and he takes out some tools out of his pouch. And with one of them, he opens up the belly of this like crystal spider, and he like, pulls it open, and he starts fixing it. So he gets in here with like these magical tools and starts adjusting it. And at one point, he drops like a wrench, and he's like, oh, clumsy. And he like crouches down to find it, and he looks, and he's like, what's that? And he like reaches under the and he pulls out this dusty jar.
Oh, God.
And he blows on it, and the dust flutters off, and there's this weak little like light kind of flitting around in it. And he's like, how long have you been down here? He looks at it and he's like, well, that won't do. He looks at the spider, which is still kind of like trying to get back up. He's like, stay here. And he like skitters off, and we see him like disappear down the hall. And we see a desk, big, beautiful, like white desk. We've seen this room before. There's a golden figure with many arms that's like pulling jars out of tubes and like getting prayers and like reading them and moving things around, basically at the center of this hall. And the little clerk kind of skitters up. He's only like this big compared to this like enormous god. And the little clerk like skitters up, and he's like, excuse me, sir. Sir, I found something. And the six-armed god just puts an arm out. And the god puts the soul in it, and he picks it up, and he looks at it, he shakes his head, and he puts it down, and one of his arms pulls out a scroll from the scroll case on the wall, and he opens it. And there's a list on it of deeds. And there's like a birth date,
Oh God!
and there's like a list of all of these things, and we can see as we watch them, like it's a list of everything Ramos ever did.
Santa Claus
in his life.
naughty and nice shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
a
shit.
list of everything Ramos ever did, and then there's a date, the last date, but the last date is like 10 years ago, and he squints, and he like unrolls the scroll some more, and he shakes his head, and he rolls it back up, and he puts it on the shelf, and he like turns around, and he picks up a book, and he lays it out, and he starts flipping through it, and in the book we see these like drawings, like beautiful drawings, and the first few pages we see like a snail and a cockroach, and then we see like a rat and like a beaver, and he's just flipping through them, and then we see like a dwarf and an orc and a human, and he gets to like Genasi, and he stops, and he just like rolls his eyes and like scrolls back a bunch more pages, and he nods and he points, and we see a picture of a monkey, like a chimp, and he takes it and he nods, and he takes the soul, and he uncorks it and reaches in and pulls out the little glowing light, and he holds it and like kind of waves it over the page, like, look, this is your, and he turns around and he opens a tube and he goes thump, and he goes whoop, and disappears up the tube, and he, job well done, throws the empty jar in a pile, and then the clerk is like looking up at him, and the god looks down and just gives him a look like, you're still here? Go, get back to work. And the clerk nods and like grabs his satchel and like skitters away. Ramos, we fade back to you. This time after you pray, instead of it being like, please restore my soul, and then just nothing happens, you feel like a deep sense of like a burden being lifted, but you don't feel any better. Like there's this feeling of like you suddenly don't, you're like, you don't feel that desire, that like emptiness anymore. It's just like gone. It's not numb. It's not, you're just like, that thing that you thought you wanted, like you'll probably forget to make this prayer again tomorrow. Like it just kind of is like gone, your desire for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we have this confused look on your face, and you're kind of like, that's odd. I feel weird. And then we cut to, it's a scene like just in a jungle, right? And there's like birds chirping and animal sounds and stuff. And we pan across and we see a bunch of like chimpanzees like just hanging out in the tree, like picking fleas off each other and like hanging out. And we hear like a screeching like noise, and we pan over and we see that there's a chimp like hanging off, like looking at another one, and the other one is holding a tiny little baby monkey, and she's just like petting its head. And then we fade back to the party.
Good Lord.
Well,
And he didn't want to describe a duck.
Listen. Yeah. So just and then Mahari was probably like, "Come on, Ramos."
Ramos, you ready?
Yes. Let's go.
All right. A couple more days. Start. I think we can start marching.
Do we like? Is it an obvious thing that we notice? Like, is like it's got a spring in his step.
It's
he's
not.
whistling.
I don't know. That's up to Dan.
Yeah,
like,
I'm more asking Dan. Like,
yeah, the sort of feeling of emptiness that you felt before doesn't go away. You just don't like care about it as much.
Yeah, I don't I don't know. Am I still fading away? I guess I would assume.
You still feel like shit. Yeah. Like physically, but the emotional strain of it doesn't seem so bad. You're like, I'm still alive. I'm still like, I'm in the world. Like, that's okay, I guess.
Okay, I'll keep going then.
Okay.
Huh. He's making a note. Ramus, soul, chimp.
Yeah,
Wow.
monkey Ramus. Yeah. All right. So you find yourselves back at the edge of the. You find the little rivulet, the illusionary wall, and there this time Zaida comes to meet you. Like, she sees you lurking around, and she opens the wall and hustles everybody in, and she's like, "You were gone so long. I thought you were dead. And then a few nights ago, the sky lit up. It was beautiful. I have no idea what happened. Something over the mountains. And I had to think, maybe you had accomplished your goal. Well, what did you find there? What happened?" Peanut's just looking at you like, "Yeah, what happened?"
We succeeded. We found the embers of Imix. The treaty is... I don't know if you know anything that I'm talking about.
She just shrugs and she says, "I told you, primordial understanding. Not really my thing."
Well, we have a favor, and you are owed some wine, I've been told.
She laughs and she says, I don't need any of that anymore. I've found a new supply line. But," and she looks at Ramus, she's like, we need to speak about the project I was working on for you while you were gone."
Oh, the vial.
"Yes."
Wait a minute, you're giving him poison too after we drank it from him?
she looks at you like,
Sorry.
Listen, no one's being poisoned.
I'm not
It's-
upset. It was a thing.
No, he left me with a sample, something to examine. I've been looking at it, and I have some answers to those questions that we were... Please, and she doesn't, she's clearly like, I don't want to talk about it in front of these guys.
I think the two of them walk off, or you walk off. You need to tell us more of these things that keep First Agni in the gym, and this key to the heaven, and now some secrets are bad.
What? Are you talking to me?
Yes.
What
This
about?
Agni thing.
Oh, yeah.
I stood in the middle of a fire from heaven when we could have just said, "Hey, this gym."
Well, I mean,
I'm.
you did that.
Yes, I did that. It was my choice. You're right. Sorry.
Whatever pact you made have been fulfilled if you hadn't.
Plans aren't really my thing.
Right. Don't let secrets be either.
You can ask me anything.
he I've heard that before.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah. Someone said it, but I
Yeah.
can't recall their face or
I don't know
name.
where I've heard that at all. Anyway.
Ask you anything? All right, Berg, what's 12 times 6?
Wait. Shitty, wrong equations, cockeyed.
Like chicken equals apple. Like
Yeah.
two.
Exactly.
Like what?
C.
All right, so
So
you're
we're just shooting
outside.
the shit
Yeah,
out of him.
and so Ramus, you go with her into the...
Yeah, I go with her to the tent.
Okay. She says, so after you left, what we were talking about targets and how it was created. This compound was created specifically to target someone with one effect and everyone else with another effect. It's a fantastically virulent poison. Killed just about everything I put it on. Killed everything given enough time and enough applications. But the point is, I know who it was for. It was for you. It's meant to restore the flesh. It's complicated. The alchemy behind it is... I have to admit I don't understand how it works. But to anyone else, this would have meant instant death. But I'm almost certain that for you, the effects would be quite opposite.
Do you still have it?
Of course.
Can I see it?
And she goes over, and you can see that up until just right when you arrived, she's been working on it. It's a little lower because she's been having to test it. But yeah, and she takes it off, unscrews the little thing and holds it out to you.
Take it and
Yeah.
Chug the whole thing.
You're like, fuck it.
You got nothing to lose,
have
baby.
to
That's
lose?
what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
That's a guy with nothing
All
to
right.
lose, son. Let's roll the dice.
Chug it all.
All right, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yeah,
Oh,
inspiration.
Jesus Christ.
You inspiration?
Yeah, do you have inspiration?
yes.
You should. If you don't, now
Use
you
it.
do.
Guidance?
You hear Berg screaming outside.
Guidance is for skill checks.
Guidance
Okay.
is for skill
Yeah.
checks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, so
Oh.
He got that deuce.
double deuce.
Double twos.
Okay.
So 4.
All right. So your body is not able to resist the effects of the potion. So you
Oh,
drink it.
Maybe good.
And
I don't know.
just failing a saving throw is almost never good. And yeah, you were at first like racked with pain. Like you fall to your knees, and it's like you've been standing at a threshold for like a long time now, and this is like being pushed over it. Like all of the pain you were waiting for, all the like darkness and cold of like dying, like hits you at once. So you drop to your knees, your body like gives out, and you vaguely at a distance hear you hear her be like, Ramos, oh, you shouldn't have done that. And she like drops to her knees. I guess she calls you Krill because she doesn't know your name. And you hear her inside like shout his name.
Yeah,
Krill.
I run.
Oh,
in.
we're all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Berg runs over.
All right.
We think he's died at this point.
Yeah. So Ramos is lying on the ground, like squirming and like gasping for breath, and something is going on. You can see his veins; they're all black.
Yeah, Berg's like knelt down next to him and like shaking him like,
Ramos!
Yeah.
Ramos!
What happened?
So inside, we get a view of Ramos, right? And this is a metaphysical view. This isn't like his organs. We see you, and we sort of fade to the space within where your soul should be orbiting itself, right? Normally, the soul is balanced by the Hun and the Po, but your Po has been consuming your body alive, right? It's like trying to destroy you so that it can dissipate back into the universe. All of your lower desires, all of your like strange the things that make you Ramos, and they've been slowly like eating your body apart because there's nothing to balance that darkness. So we see kind of like this space, this metaphorical like miasma of shadow as it is like consuming you, and then a green light sort of suffuses things. And by its contrast, we can see your lower soul, this floating black sort of this ghost light, the shadow, and the green light becomes more and more like suffused. Like we get this clearer and clearer image until we see a floating like green sphere around which your shadow soul starts to orbit. And you all see outside that Ramos actually seems like he's like getting better. Like the black veins, the spasms and stuff, they start to subside. The darkness of in his veins like fades. And his eyes for a moment like glow this kind of deep green, and then it fades. Ramos, you don't remember any of the seizing. You just remember drinking the thing and passing out, and then you just fall into like a deep slumber. Ramos is unconscious. Zaida is like, "Help me!" And it's like she's like goes to pick him up and like
Berg
get him over to the bed.
naturally
And
grabs him and puts him up.
yeah. So you like set him on her bed.
Questioning, like,
Yeah.
what happened?
I was telling him about the substance that he gave me, and that it was
What substance is this?
the poison that you were attacked with in the north.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes.
He wanted me to examine it, and I had found that it was tuned specifically to affect him in some. But I didn't tell him to, and then she points at the vial on the floor, big bottle, and
He
she's like,
drank it.
the whole thing. I couldn't act fast enough to stop him.
This is the problem with nothing to lose. He just like dead stares Yota when he says that.
He might have saved his own life.
Does anyone know a cleric?
Besides the one that you killed.
Yeah.
I did nothing of the sort. I simply gave him some information. He acted on it.
No, of course not. You didn't kill him. What are the other effects of this? Is he going to be like this for a while? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. The poison, alchemy was only my minor. If you were asking me about religion, then maybe, but he should, in theory, be fine. The poison was meant to kill quickly and painfully anyone who came in contact with it, except for him. I don't know what its purpose was in contacting him, but it came from this dark army. Their leader, or someone close to him, made it for Ramus, for Krill, and I don't know. And she just keeps looking at him like, come on, just like get better, like so I don't have to feel bad about this anymore.
Are there druids in these forests? Do you know if they exist?
She shakes her head. She says, no, the only people who could have helped were the monks at the Sun Temple, or maybe you could go there anyway.
It was next on our list. It's part of the favor we wanted to ask.
I don't understand. How can I help you?
His father lives there. We wanted to speak with him. Perhaps under some sort of the same spell you hid from us to begin with.
I mean, I could make you invisible, but it'll only last a short time.
You would have to come with us.
No, I can't.
They know your face.
They do, but you don't understand. They were. I've made an arrangement with them while you were gone.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about that. You seemed very satisfied, and you dismissed the opportunity to study this. And that probably means that you met the lieutenant.
I'm breaking up my camp. I'm going south to the Riverlands.
Why?
To see the work they're doing there.
The work that this army is doing?
She nods.
What have they promised you?
Access to the Citadel. Knowledge. Information.
More profitable than gold for your kind.
It is. It's an opportunity I can't turn down. You can have the, and she gestures at like the camp. She's like, you can keep much of this. I'll be taking my papers, of course, my supplies, but I have no need for the camp now. I'm going to be a guest. I don't have to hide anymore.
What if we could one up their offer?
I can't imagine how.
Berg's been to heaven. He's lived there.
She gives you a like bullshit look.
Berg
Berg.
like dead stares at her back. Like she can roll inside if she wants to.
Yeah, I mean, I think she just it's ludicrous, right? It's just like I've met Santa Claus. Like
Berg, you've done miracles that I've witnessed before. Now it matters. Start convincing.
Berg like outstretches his hand, like, and he's trying his hardest to do whatever the hell he did before. Some sort of sign that, you know.
Yeah. I think
I just imagine Berg at the Michelangelo painting of like Adam, like touching people.
Not even looking at her.
Yep.
Yeah. She like roll a D100.
Oh fuck! You're gonna do this?
You got like just do it.
Double
And here,
zip.
one of these.
Double Zippo. 0 zeros. That's a hundo.
Okay.
Exactly half.
Exactly half. You reach out.
The
and
top half.
She like touches your finger. And, like nothing happens. She looks around. What? I don't.
Something happened before.
Well, it sounds like you've all got a lot of very complicated stuff going on. I hope that he gets better. I have to go and pack. Excuse me.
You do realize who you're siding with and who you've made a deal with, and most deals with demons end up with one of the parties dead.
And she shrugs and says, I'd rather die knowing something no one else does.
Well, I commend you for that. At least you know what you want.
How about being corrupted into a husk, a vessel for evil? Because they will use you, but not the way you wish.
I've come to terms with my desires. If the Mara have something to offer that I want.
Her mind is made up.
Then leave. We have nothing more to talk about.
Yeah, I like go and scoop up Ramus's body and walk out of the tent.
Yeah, okay. Because she's going to go. Like, you can have it. She's basically like, you can have my house. I don't give a shit. Like, the stealth field
She got a
will
full scholarship.
Yeah, that's right. The stealth field will operate on its own for, like, a couple of days, and then it'll fall apart. But, like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I'd still take Ramus out and, like,
Okay.
Put him on the ground.
All right.
If one of you follows me out there, I'd say the high priest warned me about this once. Maybe it was one of you. Once the Mara take hold, there's no turning back. It's hard to convince someone to go against it.
Well, we've got people who have talked to gods. You've defeated a dragon almost single-handedly. And I still like the idea of burning it to the ground and starting new. Like the tower would like. But, hold on. And I run after... Before you go, did you speak with the lieutenant? The woman that you wanted to have a meeting with?
She nods. Gravedirt and some of her entourage were here
Yes.
some days ago.
Who was she? What was she?
Just a woman.
Human. Markings, scars, tattoos, anything?
Why are you so curious about this?
You ask me why I'm curious. Curiosity is what you thrive on. I want to know.
Then go to the monastery. Find out yourself.
Why
She's...
won't you tell me? Are you afraid?
She shakes her head. No, just confused. It's not as though she's some kind of horrible monster. She's not going to kill you. She's just important.
I never said she was a horrible monster. I just want to know who we are dealing with. You can't tell me anything about the man.
Not yet.
I would love to know about the woman. Maybe we have similar interests and our motivations will align. I might take your path and align with them.
She kind of looks at you like, you better go back to university if you want to take my path. But
Well-
she just kind of scoffs and she says, just go. If your father is there as you say, it should be easier for you to meet with him than it was for me.
Is there a reason you're withholding this? I just want to know.
Information is valuable. You've done nothing to earn what I have. I have no need for you or your jug of tricks anymore.
And we have no need for you.
Very well.
Go on.
Yeah, and she turns and walks away.
Berg half thinks about killing her when she leaves.
Before you go, can you look into this? And I hold up the mirror with your face.
I think she just walks away. She's just
I
like,
know.
fuck you guys, and walks away.
Anything happening to Ramos?
He's unconscious. Make a medicine check.
Okay. What is my medicine? It is a -1.
Okay.
Is this basically just to see what's happening to him?
Yeah, to get an idea of what.
I roll a 0.
A 0? All right, you have no idea.
Yeah. They come back and I'm like, I have no idea.
Damn it, Berg, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. Do you have a potion of something we could feed
I
him?
doubt anything that we have. Even a potion of healing of sorts, I don't think that would even come close to helping his condition.
We could attempt to find a druid. They would have ties to the primordials. Instead of heaven, I don't know.
Well,
Other than that, we're just waiting, this time, for time to pass and not for it to not pass.
I mean, he looks better. He's not seizing anymore. I don't pretend to know why or how, or if it's good, what he drank. But he was desperate. I don't blame him. We can wait.
That's all we can do. I don't blame anyone for this.
I wonder, should we have dispatched that woman?
No,
No.
she's just following something that she deems important, just like we're following things that we seem important.
People are allowed to make mistakes. She is not wicked or evil, but she may become.
All those words, seeing the things we've seen and doing the things we've done, kind of blur after a while. Let me take a look at Ramos and see if there's anything that can be done or anything I've seen before. And I'll kind of try and tend to him and like fucking
Can you
look
make
him
a medicine
over.
check?
Okay. I'll give him a look-see and give him a 1.
Could somebody roll better than a 1? You want to try, Berg?
Yep, there it is.
Yeah,
There's
we
a
want me to-
1
we
on
want me
the
to roll
med-
for
That's
what?
4 total.
Medicine.
4 total, by the way. That's
Good.
2 1s rolled in a row for this medicine check. I think
Let's see. Just roll one
They
more and
don't
he'll
wanna know.
just have died.
Hold on.
Like, he needs to have his heart removed. Just go ahead and cut it out of there. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Anybody else want to get a 1?
you probably have a minus 2. Minus 2 to
It's
medicine.
All right,
two
though.
for
Hey,
medicine.
check this out, though.
I'm ready.
An 8.
You got a 10. Minus
Not
2 is
much
8.
better. Okay. No one knows. He just
Okay.
he looks like Ramos. He's
What if I
he's-
did it
he's
again?
lying still. His breath is another 10. Keep it up.
Some good dice.
He's
Another-
lying
It was
still.
another 10.
He's breathing but shallowly. And he just seems like in a coma basically.
Does he look like... Does he look sick, or does he just look in a coma? Like
I mean,
sleeping?
he still's Ramos, so he looks sick all the time.
Okay.
So he's just like not moving.
He looks sick.
Well, I have one
Just hanging loose.
last potion. And I'd want to save it in case of emergency, but I could use it if you see it. That's
We'll give it a couple days. It's been a long, almost 2 weeks. It's been a long 20 years. I could use a couple days of rest. She
yes.
said it would exist
Yeah,
for
wait
a
until the
while.
camp degrades.
Now, I don't want to seem like I know everything, but I see
No.
the look.
That's his job.
Yes, very true. But I see the look in your face, Mahari. And the look in your face says that you're done.
Done
And
with what?
your quest is finished. You seem listless. You seem without purpose.
This is true. You do something for 20 years straight and then one day have it finish. Not something I'll get over in 4 or 5 days. I'll find purpose. I just need time. Just like him.
That I understand.
All right.
We wait.
Fair.
We wait.
Sun goes up, sun goes down.
Yeah, right. So this is the like the Sid on the island bit where you're like getting fish and feeding him to Ramos. He's just like in bed for days. So he doesn't wake up. A day goes by and he's still like sleeps. You feed him like water and still asleep.
Does anyone pass by that like force field, so
No.
to speak?
No, you notice some animals like occasionally come up to the edge of it and then go away. So this time passes and Ramos slumbers.
I'm going to like look around the alchemist's like place and see if there's like within, because she took her papers, but did she take like all the books and everything?
Yes, yeah, she packed up all her shit and
So it's just
and
a-
Okay.
it's like an empty hut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
with like
Should
a
leave
fire
any
pit.
Provisions?
No, so you gotta take it
Well-
for the road.
Well, shit.
But that's okay. You can find food for people.
Yeah.
That's easy enough. You go outside the bubble, go get the thing, and then try to remember how to get back in the
I was
bubble.
gonna say, try to
guess.
remember how to get
I guess
back
you
in the
just gotta
bubble.
eat rations until the bubble falls apart.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird, tense, but also a boring like couple of days. And after 5 days pass with no change, on the night of the fifth day, Ramos, you wake up, but you're not in the hut. You don't see your friends anywhere. And in fact, when you come to, you're like transparent. Like you could see through your hands, and you're in some kind of like stone. You're in like a stone room that's like a pentagon-shaped like chamber, and on the floor around you there is a circle etched in, like etched into the stone and filled with some kind of green like paint or something, and it's like these curving lines. If you want to try to recognize it, you can make like an Arcana check.
Yeah, let's make an Arcana check. 11.
Okay. All right. So you recognize it as a not a summoning circle, but like a binding circle. It's like for holding something in place, like an extraplanar, an incorporeal entity.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look at it, you realize that you look around, you see you're not alone.
Yeah, she sold us out.
So in the room, there is a chair, which is a wooden like stool, and sitting on the stool is a young man. He is of Court of Swords descent. He looks to be maybe like 20, 22, like handsome in a peasanty kind of way. You can see his nose has been like broken in the past and not reset properly, but otherwise he's like quite attractive. He's wearing like, just simple like farmer's clothes, and he smiles at you, and he says in a dialect of common, like familiar, maybe one you haven't heard since you were a kid. It's like a Riverland, it's like a bumpkin dialect, basically. He says, "Oh, good, you're awake."
I try to speak. Can I?
Yeah.
Where's my body? Or is it invisible?
Your friends are taking good care of your body. I will send you back to it soon. I wanted to have an opportunity to talk to you before that. Do you know who I am, Ramos Grill?
I assume you made the potion.
It was a gift to me. And I gave it to you. I'm glad you decided to drink it.
I had few options left.
Yes, I know this. I, too, was in that position. Everything that I loved, taken from me. My honor, taken from me. My family, my village, all gone. But there is a path back. I have seen it. And now I open your eyes to this path.
What is the path in your eyes?
It is a dark road, Ramos Grill, and one that you have been taught to shun. The false gods in their heaven with their precious fountain. They try and control us. A cycle of slavery and death. I have grown tired of it. I think that you have too.
I have.
I have heard much about you. My agents have been following you for some time. What you did, the city of brass, magnificent, freeing all those people. The cycle is broken. Heaven is our enemy, Ramos Grill. But my patrons and I, we believe in freedom above all else. So this is not a gift with any expectation of return. I will do what heaven would not. You have your life back.
It's funny. The tower teaches about letting go, about not holding on to things. And I am prepared now to finally let go of all their teachings and help you with whatever you need, so I have nothing left.
That is very good to hear. I have a servant near your body. When you return to it, go and seek her out. She will instruct you with what is next.
Was it grave? What?
Yeah, so her full title, which you haven't heard yet, is Mouthful of Worm-Ridden Grave Dirt. Everybody calls her Grave Dirt. But yes, yeah, that's who he's referring to.
Will we are free to approach without any issue, me and my friends?
You, Ramos Grill, are free to do whatever you please. I cannot speak for your friend's destiny. I think the monk will like to see his father.
Fair enough. Thank you for restoring that which heaven would not.
use it in good health. Enjoy your second chance. Or is it third?
Who's keeping count?
Wake up now, Ramos Grill. And we see, and I think this is the last shot. It's a close-up of Ramos sleeping, and then his eyes just snap open. And then we cut to black.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man, that's so awesome. No, the reason why I laughed was it just crossed my mind, the men in tights, like, used to be shit house. Like, it's a good change.
It's a good change.
Good change. Dirt. Grave dirt. Good change.
Yeah. Mouthful of worm-ridden grave dirt. That's her name. That's not her name. That's her title. She gave up her name.
In my head, when he snapped open, I just hear the boom, 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 it's like Jumanji drums, you know?
Yeah. Cool. So Ramos now has some facsimile of prosthetic soul
Hey,
crafted
you know what?
by.
We'll take it.
Yeah, right. And I will say this. I
Deal
will
with
say
the
this.
moralities of it later.
You wake up feeling great, like better than you have in years. All of the dumb shit that you've accumulated as a result of your body like deteriorating, all those penalties, they're gone. You just like they're just fuck them. You feel better. Okay. All your penalties are toast, and you wake up feeling great. You got a new lease on life.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful morning.
Yeah. So
However, there is some monkey out there.
that's right. So Ramos's upper soul has been reincarnated as a tiny chimpanzee, which we'll talk about more in the post show. So
Yeah.
let's do some shout outs, and we'll call it a night. And I think we're gonna do them in the usual order. So let's start.
And
over
XP?
here. Start with Zeke. I guess if you want XP,
Yeah.
do shout outs, and then I'll hand out XP.
Shout out to that.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I'll go
ahead.
first?
Start
Yeah,
us
do
off,
it.
Zeke.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I swear to God, I could do this for another 8 hours. I had so much fun today rolling real dice, having my friends here with me at an actual tabletop. There is nothing else like it, and I appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity and joining us on this little journey. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I normally broadcast Thursday through Sunday at noon Pacific. And then I do Tuesdays, Court of Swords, and Wednesdays for Drop Frames. So if you want to check me out, that's where you do it. And goddamn, what a great day. What a great fucking day this was. So thank you guys.
Max, please.
Yeah. Thank you again for watching. This was really, really, really fun. It's a great way to break in the new studio role play.
That's the name, yeah.
Yeah. And also, side note,
Studio
my hands have been so sweaty the last because I've been I've just been anxious to see what was going to happen and how I was going to pass out. But anyways, I'm GassyMexican. I also am on Far Verona. If you guys enjoyed this show, by the way, check it out normally. We're on Tuesdays. We do this sort of thing. It's obviously, this is a special occasion because it's the 100th episode, but check it out normally. I love playing with this group, and yeah, hopefully you guys, especially people who maybe are watching for the first time in general for D&D, this is what we do. It's silly, and it's super, super fun, and I can't wait to do it again. Check out Far Verona if you want to, too.
Thanks,
I do
Zeke.
stuff on the internet. Check it out if you want to.
Now you want to say something? Who are you? Who's this asshole?
Yeah.
The man whose house this is.
Yeah, thanks for coming over to the house. The studio's open. We did it. Episode 100.
Yeah, we did
over.
it. Yes.
But as Max said, Court of Swords, we're doing another 4 hours on Tuesday.
Yep.
It's 6 p.m. Eastern every Tuesday, so we hope to see you guys there for that. Far Verona is our spacefaring adventure. Adam GMs that with Max and some other folks on there. That's Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then Jesse Cox just gets weird on Oddballs.
That's right. Jesse Cox and his oddballs.
Yeah, that's on Thursdays. So shout out to all the patrons on Patreon for supporting this. This whole thing was because of you guys over the past year. So really couldn't have done any of it without you guys. So I really do appreciate that. And shout out to Scoots and Alchemist for running production and making this also possible. And Aurelian, who created the set and kind of put her vision into this studio. So
Yeah.
appreciate it all.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. Last but not least, DansGaming, the former man with no soul, who now I can't say that anymore.
I'm DansGaming, variety streamer. I'll be back streaming on Monday. This was one hell of a roller coaster episode for Ramos. Thought I was getting my soul back, and then no, and then now we're going to have a replacement thingy. One hell of an episode, but it was so much fun to roll real dice today, and But math sucks. I don't like math. Math
Yeah.
part is awful. But this is so much fun. I can't wait to do another live show at some point. This was tons of fun doing it in person. As fun as doing the normal show is, this is just so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's such a
really.
nice little treat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool, cool. Well, I have been your dungeon master. My name is Adam Coble. You can find me on the internet on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble, or as these fine folks have said, right here doing Far Verona and doing more of this Court of Swords action. So we'll be back next week with more shows. I do a bunch of that stuff. And if you want to, I recorded 2 hours, 2 and a bit hours of GM prep for this, of which I used this fucking much. So if you want to see all of the other stuff that I'm going to like try to use later, or if it's like the first arc, it will just go into a folder and we'll maybe try it again in episode 200. You can find that over on my YouTube channel. So check that out. That's it.
Remind me to ask you about that folder. Like, I want to know the GM prep for the first live show,
Right.
what it was and when we got to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I was saying before, when I did the GM prep for the City of Brass, I said in that one, I'm like, this should tide us over for 8 hours, and it lasted for 6 months. So
Yeah.
it's fine. It's a guess.
Do XP.
Yeah, let's do XP, and then we're gonna go and record a post show
Yeah.
for our patrons where we will talk much more about all of that stuff.
Yep. While you're figuring that out,
Yeah.
VODs of the show will start going up probably Monday, potentially tomorrow on YouTube. If you want to watch them immediately, the best thing to do is to just subscribe here on Twitch. Don't recommend it, though, because it does cost money. Watch them on YouTube for free. You just got to wait a little bit longer. Patreon show will be going up probably tomorrow as well. We're going to record that immediately after here. It depends on the upload process. We think we have a pretty streamlined process from here on out, but we'll just see tonight, and we'll go from there. Apart from all that, I think that's pretty much all I got in terms of promo. We're on iTunes. If you want to grab us there as well, just search for RollPlay. Court of Swords will be going up every week, and we'll probably start adding some more episodes as well. So, XP.
Cool. Yeah, XP. So, Ramus, you completed your goal, or you worked towards your goal of convince the embers to help me with my soul problem.
Yep.
So you're gonna get your work towards, which is 550. You worked on getting everyone to the Monastery of the Sun alive, which is another 550. And I think that's it for those ones. I imagine you're going to have some pretty different goals later.
Yeah.
So, Maharib, I was going to say you worked on protecting your comrades, but you straight up caused the only fight in the session. So,
Totally.
but you worked on reaching the monastery, so that's 550. And you did convince the Embers to honor the pact. So they're going to be like an NPC faction that you can go to
Yeah.
in the future. So that one, let's see, that one you get. Let's see here. Calculator. All right. So for that one you get 3,800.
All right.
3,800 for that one. All right, and then here we go. Yotazol, you worked on getting to the monastery.
Yep.
So that's 500.
Okay.
I think you learned the fate of your family. I think that was like enough of a revelation to get the XP. So you're gonna get. Where's my calculator here? Level 10.
Yep.
2,400 for that one.
Okay.
So 2,400 for that one, and then find out the identity of the lieutenant. I think you work towards it. You'll have to like learn more because she's very like she gave up her name to protect her identity. So like you know her name.
So there is definitely more to unravel.
Oh, there's more to unravel.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
You know like only the myth part of her.
I like it.
But you worked on it, so it's another 500.
I like it. Okay, so that's 3,400 total then?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Ding.
Nice. So Berg.
I should have two big ones that have been marinating for a while.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Here's where Berg finally rakes it in.
So first, yeah, just wait about it. So Berg, you
Just wait.
you get 5. You're level 10, right? Mm-hmm. So you get 500 for working on getting your friends to the monastery,
Okay.
and then you get for your other 2, which are deliver Agni's message and help find a cure for Ramus's ailment.
Delivers Agni message is like a 30
It's
episode.
been going on
goal.
forever.
Yeah.
Long time.
120 hours of play.
Let's see. That's and then Jesus, I gotta hold on. I gotta do a bunch of math.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
That
11,200 experience.
Jesus.
The long game.
So you get 11,200 experience for those guys. So there you go. Are you level 11 yet?
Yeah. I'm at 91,610.
Oh, you shot way ahead of me.
Yeah.
So this cool thing on the Roll20, I didn't know the character sheet. It like gives you a little symbol. It says you got to level up. Just I don't know if you press the button or
just
whatever.
hit the button. Yeah. So the charactermancer has improved now. Where it used to be you could only make level 1 characters. Bam. Now what you're looking at is the charactermancer, and it will automatically help you like level up when you do your level, and you have access to all of the supplements that are in Roll20 because I'm sharing those supplements with you guys.
Okay.
So it'll walk you through the steps, and all you have to do is just pick. It'll say like, do you want to have this power or this power? Do you want to roll your hit points or take the average? And there's just step by step, and it'll just walk you through leveling.
Very
up in
cool.
there.
Wow.
Okay.
So you can do the same.
All that XP's for all those who didn't stop believing that one day it would pay off for Berg.
Don't
Appreciate
stop
you
believing.
guys.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Shout
it.
outs to heaven.
I want to
right.
thank
Shout out-
Father
shout out to
God.
heaven.
Father God.
Metal Arms, what up?
Metal Arms.
Represent.
That's that kid's name. Just wait. In like another 15 or 20 years in the campaign, you'll have to fight like the Bandit Queen Metal Arms.
Yeah.
I'll be ready to fight, and she'll be like, wait, I know you.
Yeah.
It's the same. Punch. Metal Arms. Look at,
All
I
right.
did it.
We're gonna go and record the post show for patrons. So if you want to check that out, patreon.com/roleplay. That's it for us. Thank you so much for coming, everybody, both cast and audience. These live shows, these Metal Arms. I wish I could hug you with them. I always have such a good time. So thanks for coming. This has been episode 100, and we'll see you on Tuesday.